Hey guys, Joshua Peterson Electric. Third part of this video for our ceiling fans. This is Haiku. This is it running right now. This thing has an amazing breeze. I cannot tell you enough. Yes, it did need a 60-inch down rod on this. This is a 17.5-foot ceiling. I can get up to 16 foot safe on my little giant, but anything above that, I've got to go to the trussel, which will go way above that, like I told you, up to 22 foot. As far as this fan, you do have to make sure on any ceiling fan that you are compliant to the code of Article 314 under boxes, that your box support is supportive in the 2017 code for dealing with ceiling fans. If it's not stating ceiling fan rated, it won't be. The reason why it says that is that on a normal outlet box like that, a square box, you're gonna have a little teeny threaded part which is a 632 screw. As you go up in size for a light box, it'll be the next diameter of an 832, meaning 8 threads in a 32 inch, or 32 inches and an eighth of an inch, excuse me. And then when you get up to a 1032, this is what your ceiling fan support has, is a thicker thread, more threads, and also a thicker diameter. It's just a heavier screw. Your box is going to be rated to support that fan and any ceiling fixture that's going to be 75 pounds and larger. Keep in mind also, you can pull on that box. If you pull on that box in that old fan and it moves like this, you know your fan's not rated. The other thing to keep in mind is that if you look at your wall switches in a newer house, which is going to be maybe 1990 and later, you're going to see that you have 3 wall switches. One is going to be for a switched receptacle, and the other 2 are possibly the red and black capped inside of the canopy above. If you look at it and you have one wall switch and your home might be from 1980 all the way back to 1910, you're going to realize you probably don't have a ceiling fan rated box. There is a chance you have to cut those out. You do have your bracket arm boxes you can put in, sometimes from below. Usually you have to have attic space. There are other boxes designed that you can screw from the inside that we use that are a lot better to use. Some of the boxes will not fit to the TGIs that are newer designed, whereas you have a 2x10 inside of your ceiling and it's all flat on one face of it. Those boxes work better to screw from the inside. There are many different style of boxes, but keep in mind that if we go and take down a ceiling fan and we see it's not rated and you want us to put in a new one and we can tell it's wobbling and the screws are stripping out on the 832 or the 632, then you're going to realize we have to upgrade that to a ceiling fan rated to a 1032 screw for that support. We can't just go put it back up because it was like that because of the liability of that. So keep that in mind. The other thing is when you're buying a fan, keep in mind if you have bunk beds in a kid's room. We had one customer where their kids were hanging off of the ceiling fan and decided to break it. But keep that in mind that 44-inch span is maybe what you need because of the room. If it's an 8x10, that's going to be hard to achieve. But if it's bigger than that, 12x14, you'll be able to achieve that. The last thing to keep in mind is that if you have one wall switch and only 2 wires going up and you find that inside of a light box it's a black and a white and a ground, you're going to have a remote system to control that. If you want to put in an extra red wire, that's not too bad to do when you have attic accessibility. Some attics are really narrow and some have more room. Keep in mind though also that if you have the 3 wires up there, the red, black, and white, you can control it from a wall switch below and a single yoke switch with a slide of a dimmer and also a fan rheostat. But you cannot use a light dimmer to control a fan motor or you'll blow it out. Also keep in mind that if you have a medium socket A19 screw-in bulb or candle tier, if you're getting LED or CFL, it has to be rated for the fan and the dimmer switch. If you don't, you'll wreck the module and wreck your fan as well. A lot of service calls I do that way. So anyways, guys, hopefully this will help you out on ceiling fans. I get a lot of these calls and a lot of people love putting them in. Again, the more you spend, the better off you are. Now, I'm not saying go into a fan where I hung one for $1,200, $1,400. I don't think those are as great price point for how long they last. And I won't name the name on them, but there are a few brands out there like if you call me, I can tell you a few things I've learned just to save face with the bigger companies. But bottom line, with these fans, keep in mind that you do need to be in about a $300 to $500 to $600 range if you're going to feel that fan coming down on you. Otherwise, you're just seeing movement, and it's probably not doing you a lot. Again, one other thing is if you have pull chains, you can turn off your light and your fan separate, but if you want to avoid that from the center of the room, get yourself a remote. The remote has to be rated for that. But they are making them higher technology that your phone, like Haiku, can be done with your phone as well, and it'll communicate Wi-Fi also by a switch in the wall and a remote. So it's all 3 options on this fan. Thanks guys for joining us. Hopefully I help you out on ceiling fans. Have a good day.